Most people, not just ex-witnesses, most people have never pondered that question. Who am I? Who am I? You see, you can't get somewhere if you don't know where you are. Try and set your GPS where your GPS doesn't know where you are and see if it can figure out where you're going. The problem is, too many people try to figure out where they're going before they figure out who they are and where they are. Who are you apart from this religion? You're bigger than an ex-Jehovah Witness. Someone who's decided to not do crime anymore is bigger than an ex-con. Define yourself as something bigger. See yourself as something bigger. But to do that, we've got to lose fear. And that's another thing that is put in us. To do that, we need to connect with who we truly are. My friends, listen to the words of this poem, and it goes like this. It goes, raised in beliefs that were not mine, a detachment from my true self showed over time. A lie I lived for so very long, not understanding my truth about what's right and wrong. Like a chameleon, I would change my colors at will, so the people I love would love me back still. But is it true love if you take it away because something called truth is not seen the same way? You see, we all have the power to use our own minds and seek understanding that we all wish to find. This journey is mine. It belongs to no other, no brother, no sister, no father or mother. See, I was created unique and like no one else, but my talents and gifts were then put on the shelf. But now it's time to break free from these chains and shatter the bondage that's inside of my brain. See, I finally am free. I can soar to the sky. I was created in the image of the one who's most high. I didn't know I could write poetry till I was 44 years old. That's how detached I was from my true essence. That's how detached I was from the gifts that God gave me. I was 44 years old. And I was working out some of this stuff with the, coming up a witness. And I was attempting to journal, and I wrote that in 5 minutes. There's something special in each and every one of you. You see, the first goal is to find out who you are and to become happy. Even if you want to be an activist. I'm not an activist. But when you get to a happy place, if that is your calling, you will see it. See, some people have that calling. Some people have that calling. They're going to be an activist about something. Some people have a calling to make what's wrong right. But you got to take care of you first. Don't think you're something because you're angry. Don't just be something because you're angry and you want to don't waste your life on that. But if that is your calling, whatever your calling is, find yourself first. Find what was put in you. You see, the gifts that were given to you are not for you. That poem wasn't given to me for me. That poem was given to me for you. So what is in you? To find that, we got to lose the sense of fear. Fear, false expectation appearing real. All cults use fear to control people. You need fear, you need an enemy, and you need a hope that only comes through the organization. Politicians do this all the time. How do you control people? By those three elements. I'm not making a political statement one way or another because I'm not here to talk about politics, but I'm going to tell you something. Fear immigrants. Enemy is Muslims. Make America great again, and you become president. I'm not making a political statement. That is just the blueprint. Let me ask you something. What was Hillary Clinton's slogan? What was the hope that she gave you? That's not hope. What is the hope that she gave you?
She gave me no hope.
That's why she lost. That's why she lost. It's that simple. Create fear and create something to give you hope from that fear. And that's what the witnesses did. What happens when you show children images of dead people all on the ground, blood all over the place, dead babies, fire coming from heaven? When I was 13 years old, I woke up. I heard sounds of explosion. And we lived in this house. My older brother lived in the house next to us, and the house next to his was on fire. But when I looked out the window, our garage blocked the view. All I could see was orange. Whatever I could see was orange. And things were popping. I was about 13 years old. I got on my knees. I started praying. I thought it was Armageddon. I mean, I was crying. I was shaking. I was thinking of anything bad I did. I wasn't quite baptized yet. They've been telling me to get baptized. I'm not baptized. I'm like, I am done. That's programmed fear. Do you know how many people carry that for the rest of their life? How many ex-witnesses fear getting in trouble? Fear the elders. Fear this authority. How many of you were told you shouldn't do X, Y, and Z for fear you might get in trouble? Man, I heard. I think my brother told me this, but he didn't go to his class reunion because they said something about old flame. Something might flare up with an old flame, and you might get in trouble. Grown people. And my brother goes, I wanted to go to my reunion, but I'm not going to my reunion because the watchtower said, "You're a grown man. You're 40-something years old. Married at that. Going with your wife. And you know you didn't have a girlfriend anyway." Fear. Fear. Fear everything. And this is the problem when your mind is wired that way. As much as you might reject the doctrine, you still carry the way of thinking. When did that organization ever teach you to be courageous for yourself? So you're courageous for the religion. You're good at that. You could sit down, a whole stadium of folks doing the Pledge of Allegiance or the national anthem. You sit down for the religion. But for yourself, you were taught to be like sheep. You know, if one sheep walks over the lead sheep walks over the cliff, the rest just follow? Sheep aren't the smartest animal. Now, I get what they were saying about that, okay? They take things like that, they blow it way out of context. Fear. We got to conquer fear. We conquer fear with courage. We conquer fear by not being afraid of failure. Nothing happens from this space of fear. We conquer fear by focusing on our successes in life. So when you were thinking about that day that made you feel proud, you became strong. Focus on your victories. This is so important with the women especially. We're going to move into the area of esteem. Most ex-witnesses struggle with healthy esteem. You women didn't have a voice. You could be a 60-year-old woman. 15-year-old baptized kid. He's the only one at the card group. Who's in charge? How many women go to the elders? I don't even know. I could just look at you and I know this. You go to the elders, they blame you, right? Marital problems, you go to the elders, they blame you. My husband watches porn 4 hours a day. Well, are you giving him his due? Stuff like that. It's tough when you get in the real world and you gotta, you watch these ladies that are just phenomenal. It's 2019. It's a different day and age. And for so many of us, we hold ourselves back because our voices aren't heard. Remember this. Life is just a story that we tell ourselves in our head. Whatever we tell ourselves is the life that we live. It's not easy to tell a new story, but the first thing you have to want is the desire to tell a new story. So how do we get past some of these things that I spoke of? I got a few more coming up, but how do we get past these things?